We are back here at Kia Store of Anniston, Oxford for another edition of the Coach Rico Jackson Show, an Anniston football preview. Coach, last week you obviously didn't get the results that you wanted when you went to Andalusia, but you said going down to that game, this is the measuring stick to see where your program is. Had a really competitive first half, and second half things kind of get away from you. But positive is every game does count or they wouldn't keep score, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean that much, because now what's about to transpire this upcoming week is what really means something. We really got to put it together. Before we dive into that Munford game, the upcoming game, take us back to last Friday night and how everything transpired in Andalusia, Alabama.
Played really well first half. I thought defense played outstanding. We missed some opportunities. We missed a couple interceptions, and then we had a punt ricochet that one of our kids, he's catching it on the way to the end zone, he drops it. So we feel like those are three huge plays in that first half that we can't get back. Second half, special team miscues really killed us. We had a couple kids go down, kind of banged up. So now we got to get well and get ready for region play.
Now, you knew going into the Andalusia game, they were going to be a really tough contest. You also knew they had a really nice running back and big, strong offensive line. What else did you find out about your team during that game? Because
I like their competitive drive. That's something that we have to keep throughout the entire game. We didn't keep it the entire game. We did it for a half. And half don't matter. It's a whole game. So we have to keep that competitive drive. We're going to keep improving. Keep improving. We do feel like it's a chance that we'll match up with those guys again. In order to do that, we got to take step by step. So we got to take care of this week and prepare and for a good Munford team and try to get a win.
That's right. And I've seen a lot of stranger things. You talked about possibly crossing paths with them again. I've seen stranger things happen. Catholic last year, the year before last, beat a team by almost 50 and lost them in the playoffs.
Right.
So stranger things has happened.
Right.
All right. Now, let's dive into the all-important region play, which is going on. And not only region play, Munford's coming to you. There's so many variables in that game that if you look at it on paper, you wouldn't understand. But if you were a part of the program of Anniston, you would understand. For one, this is kind of a rivalry, a big time, because you guys are not that far apart. Number two, you guys won last year 55-7, if my memory serves me correct. Number three, it's a home opener in region play here, so there's a lot of variables go into this game. How do you keep your guys level-headed and not let some of that other stuff affect you? Because anytime you beat a team like you had success last year against Munford, sometimes it's hard to get them to say, hey, this is a good team that could present a challenge to us.
We should be level-headed after last week. So
I got you.
We had a good practice yesterday. We're locked in. It's about trying to flip the page and not letting that game beat us for 2 weeks. So we're dialed in on Munford. They do have a good football team. Yeah. It's a really good offensive line, really good running back. I like the young quarterback. He's athletic as well. So, they do have a good football team, so we're going to have to come play.
Traditionally, they do have a lot of good guys, and they're always scrappy. That's another thing about
very scrappy. Very scrappy on defense. Very scrappy offensive line-wise. They come off the football. So we're going to have to match that intensity Friday night.
What do you want to see more than anything out of your guys? There got to be one. If you had to dial it in on one thing, I need this out of you guys this Friday.
Just execution. I thought our coordinator, our first half, Coach Ward, dialed us some really good plays. It doesn't matter when you have 9 guys doing the right thing and 2 doing the wrong. So I want to see them execute. Coaches-wise, we need to do a better job of putting our kids in situations where they can be successful, especially special team-wise. That's on me. I'll make sure we have that cleaned up. So it's across the board. It's just not the kids. It's us too, because we're a team. But the biggest word is execute. We had some big plays called, And it could be an errant snap. It could be someone going the wrong way. It could be someone missing an assignment. And that's not analytics, that's us. So that's what we learn from the film. We need to execute. And when it's time to make a play, make a play.
Now, Coach, one thing that a lot of people don't realize, there's so many variables go behind a football program. At the point where you're hosting a home game like this, how important is it to get the community not to just watch it on NFHS, but come out and support these guys? Not only vocally and be there in person, but every dollar they get goes right back into this program. How important is that to get Anniston out to see you guys this Friday?
It's big. Our kids here, they deal with a lot of pressure. I felt like it was 7-0 at halftime, and it's a ball game, and some of our kids had their heads down. Every game is not going to be a ball. Every game, some games you're going to have to come play a football game. So, with that said, it's huge that we have the community behind us, supporting the kids in a positive light. They need that. You're talking about 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Some still developmentally, they need positive support. We have a good football team. We plan to prove it throughout the season, so we're going to work hard to make sure we can do that.
Coach, give me just a couple of final thoughts heading into this week with Munford. I know you got some other things you may want to talk about that I hadn't touched on.
No, I mean, like I said earlier, they have a good football team. We're going to have to come play. They do some good things offensively. They give you a lot of formation and shifts. But at the end of the day, Anniston needs to take care of Anniston. And we didn't do that in the second half last week. So we're all moving forward. We kind of flushed it after not a fun weekend.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
We kind of flushed it and put our pride aside, and it's time to go back to work.
The good thing is, get that out of the way early. It's a coaching, a lot of teaching moments in that. So obviously that's going to help you get their attention.
A ton. I just hate that we didn't perform to the expectation we have for ourselves.
Gotcha.
We feel like Andalusia's not 39 points better than us, but at the end of the day, they showed that. So we're going to have to get back to the drawing board, and hopefully we can run across the guys.
Coach, I appreciate you sitting in, and we're going to be back here next week at Kia Store of Anniston, Oxford for another edition of the Coach Rico Jackson Show. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.